it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of like just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Complex has put out their 10 most influential women in sports. And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark for number 1.
Clark did it again. As if shattering records on the court wasn't enough, she just secured another major win. And this time, she didn't even have to lace up her sneakers. Caitlin Clark has officially been named the most influential female athlete. Her impact on the game? Unmatched. Her fan base? Massive. Her ability to bring in record-breaking viewership and ticket sales? Undeniable. And guess what? She beat out Angel Reese for the top spot. And let's just say, Reese isn't handling it well. Instead of congratulating Clark or acknowledging why she won, Reese is doing what she does best, making excuses.
So like, it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of like just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Hold up. Grace? Where was this grace when she was mocking Clark during the NCAA tournament? Where was this grace when she was throwing shade every chance she got? Now that Clark is winning everything, suddenly Reese wants to talk about adjusting and moving on? Nah, we're not buying it.
Announcing the top 10 most influential athletes right now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark, check. Breaking records. Caitlin Clark, check. Proving their impact goes far beyond the game, from sold-out arenas to game-changing moves in business and fashion. These women are leading the way. If this is a top 10 list, then sitting on the top of that list, there's only one right answer. There's only one correct choice.
While Clark is growing the game and rewriting history, Reese is busy downplaying Clark's success. If Reese had won this award, we'd never hear the end of it. But now that she lost, she's acting like it's no big deal. And let's be real, if this wasn't important, why is Reese reacting like she just got robbed?
What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was like, when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool, like the pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool, I can just hoop. So I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well, yeah.
And they're like, oh.
I'm still a rookie. I'm still figuring it out. Trying to figure things out.
Clark's achievements speak for themselves. Breaking records, selling out arenas, bringing more attention to women's basketball than anyone ever has. Meanwhile, Reese? She's more famous for TikTok videos than anything she's actually done on the court. This isn't just about an award, it's about who the fans actually care about. And the numbers? They don't lie. One player has fans tuning in to watch her jaw-dropping performances. The other? She's making headlines for everything except basketball.
And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark for number 1. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that. I think it's hilarious. I will tell you right off the bat, I don't believe there's a singular world, where Angel Reese should be ahead of Simone Biles either. There, I put that out loud.
Let's be real. How is it a rivalry when one player is dominating and the other is making excuses? Reese's excuse number 1, the pressure isn't on me. During an interview, Reese tried to brush off Clark's dominance, saying, I was drafted number 7 overall, so the pressure shouldn't be on me. I'm just trying to figure things out. Let's break that down. Did Aja Wilson say that when she was drafted? Did Breanna Stewart use that excuse? No, because great players rise to the occasion. They don't shy away from pressure. They embrace it. But Reese? She's running from expectations instead of meeting them. Meanwhile, Clark was the number 1 pick with the weight of an entire league on her shoulders, and she's thriving under the spotlight. That's the difference. Why did Clark win this award? Let's break it down.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
More history for the Fever rookie.
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
Clark didn't just win because of popularity. She won because of her unmatched influence on the game. 1. She's breaking every viewership record in sight. Whenever Clark plays, ratings skyrocket. She had higher viewership numbers than the NBA, MLB, and NHL at times. When she steps on the court, fans tune in. 2. She's selling out arenas nationwide. Clark doesn't just bring in viewers, she packs stadiums. The Fever's preseason games? Instant sellouts. Meanwhile, Reese's WNBA debut? Plenty of open seats. She's shaping the future of women's basketball. Clark isn't just a player. She's a movement. Young girls want to be like her. Boys are starting to follow the WNBA because of her. Sponsors are lining up to work with her. That's real influence. Meanwhile, Reese? She's struggling to bring in free agents to the Chicago Sky. She was supposed to be recruiting stars, but nobody wanted to join her team. Instead of leveling up, Reese is taking the easy way out, complaining about the pressure, blaming her rookie status, acting like she just needs time to figure things out. Meanwhile, Clark? She's breaking barriers and shattering expectations. And that's why she's no one on this list. Clark doesn't just win games, she changes the game. That's what true influence looks like. Reese can try to downplay it, but the world sees the truth. This isn't a debate. The fans have spoken. The stats tell the story.
Saying Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan, or Ben Wallace was better than Kobe, or even Andre Drummond was better than LeBron. And I shouldn't have to point out that Angel Reese is actually a poor defender.
And at the end of the day, Clark is on top of the world, while Reese is still trying to figure things out. And let's be honest, if Reese wasn't so bitter, she might actually learn something from Clark's success. But until then, she'll just have to keep watching from the sidelines. Caitlin Clark didn't just break records, she completely redefined women's basketball. We're talking 62 records shattered in just one season. That's not just making history, that's rewriting the entire record book. And what's even crazier, she's just getting started. Clark herself put it best. My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less. Clark didn't just elevate herself.
Oh, Reese! 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it! Classic long two. Bang! PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang! What? Bang! I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. They say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. Bang! They are stat petting queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her. Long two, butter pecan. Bang!
She transformed an entire franchise. Before Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever were stuck in WNBA purgatory. A franchise nobody cared about, struggling to stay relevant. Then Clark arrived, and suddenly they're in the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. That's not just an elite player, that's a team-changing superstar. For years, people asked, who's actually putting women's basketball on their back? The answer is obvious now. It's Caitlin Clark. She has everyone, even people who never watched women's sports before, locked in. Clark's impact off the court is even more mind-blowing. This is where Clark completely separates herself from her so-called rivals. WNBA merchandise sales skyrocketed by 500% in her rookie season. Jerseys, t-shirts, and memorabilia were gone within minutes. Teams that once begged fans to show up are now selling out entire arenas.
I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's, but passing like this? I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque bounce passing. I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque two-handed, full court, touchdown pass kind of passing. The likes of which I don't see in the WNBA.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese's jerseys, just sitting there, collecting dust. Nobody scrambling to buy them. Nobody camping outside stores waiting for a restock. This isn't just about basketball ability. This is about true star power. Clark's influence is reshaping the entire league's economy. Before Clark, WNBA teams were struggling to fill seats. Now, arenas that used to be empty are now packed, if Clark is in town. Franchises are scrambling to expand seating to handle demand. TV ratings are breaking records every time she plays. And let's be clear, this is just a one-time hype wave. This is sustained, undeniable impact. Clark was named the most influential woman in sports, and it wasn't even close. So, when Complex named Clark the #1 most influential female athlete, was anyone really surprised?
But now you're going to cut down 22-year-old Caitlin Clark, who has single-handedly changed the game, brought in millions of other young fans, old fans. How about the ratings in college basketball for her, record ratings, and now in her very short WNBA career, shattering records. Isn't that a win for everybody?
This isn't just about basketball skills. This is about transforming an entire sport. She's proving on the biggest stage that women's basketball can be just as marketable as men's. And her presence is forcing every major sports outlet to take notice. The Caitlin Clark effect is bigger than just basketball. Her impact is so big, even sports economists are in shock. According to leading experts, Clark is driving a 105% increase in WNBA attendance, shattering revenue projections for women's sports, being compared to Michael Jordan in terms of how she's elevating the game's value. That last point, let that sink in. Even top analysts are now saying, Zach, Clark is to the WNBA what Michael Jordan was to the NBA. And when we say she's bringing in new fans, we're talking thousands of people who never cared about the WNBA before, now becoming die-hard fans. Even in cities where WNBA teams used to struggle, things are changing. Washington Mystics had to move their game to the Wizards NBA arena when Clark came to town. That game completely sold out. The game before against Chicago, plenty of open seats. See the pattern? Clark's impact in Indiana, 36 million and counting. Let's talk hard numbers. In just her rookie season, Clark generated $36 million for Indianapolis. That's one player. And we're only at the beginning. Experts predict that Clark's rise will increase the total value of women's basketball by $1.6 billion in the next 3 years. Yes, billion with a B. And let's be real, no other player is doing anything remotely close to this. Clark isn't just a great basketball player. She's a walking economic powerhouse. Clark versus A'ja Wilson, the value debate. Let's get this straight. Nobody is saying Clark is more skilled than A'ja Wilson right now. Wilson is a WNBA champion, MVP, and a dominant force. But if we're talking about value, Clark is on a completely different level. Clark's impact isn't just on the court, it's in ticket sales, sponsorship revenue, TV ratings, merchandise numbers. One analyst put it perfectly. Michael Jordan wasn't always the best player in the league, but he was always the most valuable. And right now, that's Clark. What this means for the future of WNBA. Clark isn't just a superstar, she's the movement that's reshaping the entire league. She's bringing in new fans. She's creating massive revenue. She's turning women's basketball into must-watch TV. The WNBA was already gaining traction before Clark, but with her in the league, it's skyrocketing to new heights. And the scary part? She's just getting started. Do you agree that Caitlin Clark is the most influential female athlete right now? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.